One man had 4 minutes to end the world. He almost did. This is why you're alive. September 26, 1983, 12:14 in the morning. Inside a concrete bunker 40 miles south of Moscow, a screen lights up. One word, in red, launch. Before you hear what he decided, understand this. If he gets it wrong, you are never born. Not eventually. That night. Your parents never meet. Everyone you have ever loved is erased before they exist. He has 4 minutes. His name is Stanislav Petrov, 44 years old, Lieutenant Colonel of the Soviet Air Defense Forces. He was not supposed to be here. The officer scheduled for this shift called in sick, and Petrov was the replacement. He sat down at a console he helped design, a system he knew better than almost anyone alive. That is the only reason any of us are here. 3 weeks before this night, a Soviet fighter jet shot down a Korean passenger plane. Korean Airlines Flight 007, 269 people, gone in 4 minutes. The world had not recovered. Reagan had called the Soviet Union an evil empire, and the Soviets were certain the United States was planning a first strike, not as a theory, as scheduled intelligence. They had a date in mind, they just did not know if tonight was it. Every radar operator, every missile officer, every man with his hand near a button, all of them waiting for the same thing. Tonight might be the night. Now, put Petrov back in that chair. The alarm is going off, one missile confirmed inbound, and the men around him are on their feet. They are looking at him. He has one job. Pick up the phone, say one word. Real. If he says that word, Soviet protocol does not allow for hesitation, does not allow for confirmation, does not allow for a second opinion. The response is immediate. Soviet missiles launch, aimed at the United States, at NATO countries, at every major city in the Western world. America detects the launch. America launches in response. Estimates on what happens next start at 100 million dead in the first day, and they go up from there. Every major city, every hospital, every power grid, every road, every person you will ever know, in the time it takes to watch a movie. He has not moved. He has not spoken. The men around him are losing their minds. Here is what nobody tells you about this moment. Petrov was not calm. His hands were shaking. He felt sick. And inside that sickness, something quieter than every alarm in the building was speaking to him. Something he could not prove. Something he could only feel. He helped write the software he was watching. He knew what a real launch looked like. A real first strike would not be one missile. It would be hundreds, thousands. You do not start a nuclear war with 5 missiles. You end one. But the system was reading high reliability. The chain of command was waiting, and the window was closing. 30 seconds pass. The screen updates. Launch, 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 launch. Now 5 missiles, all confirmed, all inbound, all reading as real. This is where every protocol says yes. This is where every alarm says yes. This is where every general who built this system says yes. This is where Stanislav Petrov says nothing. 4 minutes. Think about what 4 minutes actually is. The length of one song, the time it takes to make coffee, a child's attention span. Nothing. And on this Tuesday night in 1983, it is the entire distance between the world that exists and the world that ends. He picks up the phone. He opens his mouth. 2 words. False alarm. The room goes silent. Not because they believe him, but because no one knows what to do when one man contradicts every system every general in the Soviet Union spent their career trusting. They wait. He was right. The satellite system had mistaken sunlight reflecting off high-altitude clouds for the exhaust plumes of nuclear missiles. The most sophisticated early warning system the Soviet Union had ever built. Fooled by weather, by clouds, by the angle of the sun. 5 missiles that would have ended everything were Tuesday morning light. Sit with that. The entire Soviet nuclear response was built on a system that could not tell the difference between a warhead and a sunrise. And on the one night it mattered, the one man in the chair was not the man supposed to be there. It was the replacement. the one who helped write the code, the one who recognized the error that no one else recognized because no one else had written it. Now, here is what happened after he saved the world. The Soviet military reviewed the incident, confirmed Petrov was correct, confirmed the system had failed, confirmed he had made the right call under conditions no human being should ever have to face alone. And then they reprimanded him, not for the decision, for the paperwork. During the minutes when civilization hung on his judgment, he had been recording his notes in the wrong column. Improper documentation, official reprimand. No award, no promotion, no ceremony, no acknowledgement of any kind. Quietly reassigned to a less sensitive post, told to say nothing. The reason there was no award was not that they forgot. It was that rewarding him would have meant admitting the system had failed. And the men who built that system, the engineers, the generals, the scientists, they were still in their positions, still collecting their salaries. If Petrov was right, they were responsible. So they made sure Petrov was nothing. So he said nothing for 15 years. His wife did not know for a decade. One night she asked him what he did at work. He told her, and she did not believe him. He did not try to convince her. He retired to a small flat outside Moscow. Pension not enough. His wife got sick. He cared for her. She died, and he was alone. A journalist visited him in 2013, 30 years after the night. Petrov was living in an apartment with a broken television he could not afford to fix. The man who saved the world could not fix his television. Let that land. Not as a metaphor, as a fact. The man who kept you alive, who kept your parents alive, who kept every person you have ever loved alive, was sitting in a flat outside Moscow, looking at a broken television 30 years later. The world eventually found out. Documents were declassified in 1998. A documentary was made, and he flew to New York. He stood in front of people who were alive because of him, and they applauded. He did not know what to do with that. He said he was not a hero. He said anyone would have done the same. He was lying. Everyone knew it. He knew they knew. In 2018, the United Nations held a ceremony. Ban Ki-moon stood at a podium and said, "The world might not be here today if not for the decisions of Stanislav Petrov." The award was accepted by his daughter. His son could not attend. The American embassy had delayed his visa. The man who saved the world could not get his son into the country that would have been destroyed without him. Stanislav Petrov died May 19, 2017, alone. His death was not noticed for months. A journalist called to inform his son. His son said he already knew. Then he said one sentence. Nobody called to check until now. You woke up today. You will go to sleep tonight. You will make plans for tomorrow without thinking about September 26, 1983. That is only possible because one man, on a shift he was not supposed to be working, with shaking hands and no proof, against every alarm, against every protocol, against everything he had spent his career being trained to do, chose to wait. He was right, by 50-50 chance, on a Tuesday night, in a concrete bunker, while you slept. He saved everyone. Nobody saved him. He died with a broken television. His son missed the ceremony. His name was Stanislav Petrov, and you are alive because of him.